It's Chandra, and I'm here with Rain, my Mustang mare. So I'm going to teach her the side pass away exercise. So actually, I'm going to show you how she does this side pass away exercise. She's pretty good at it already. Sometimes she gets a little worried, she gets a little mixed up. So I'll just kind of show you where she's at with that. So I'm going to use two whips. I'm going to use a lunge whip and a driving whip. The driving whip has the length without being too long, or too short. It's really good. I really like it. I actually like it more than the lunge whip. It helps to just maneuver her without being too short with the dressage whip or too long and too much going on with the lunge whip. So I'm gonna have her side pass away. So I'm actually just gonna use the driving whip. I'll use that when she's side passing toward me. So I'm gonna come up to her. Actually, I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna use both whips. I'm gonna use one whip to block and one whip to move them over. So you can use a dressage whip to block too. You don't have to use this big of one, but it kind of blocks more of their space. So it's a little bit easier to use. So then the horse already knows the first leading lesson. So she's already got some steering there, and the yielding the shoulders and the hindquarter lesson. So those are all prerequisites to this one. So then this is just another body control exercise with the whip. So I'm going to stand up here parallel with her head. This is going to block her, and then this is going to ask her to move sideways. So I'm going to move my legs like I want her to. I like her butt over. I'm just going to tap, and she wants to kind of go through it. So I'm using my backing lesson. There, she crossed her legs. Some reward. So she gets a little nervous with this one. We've done this one, but I don't know, she wants to just go forward instead, which I get, but they have to differentiate between the cues. So that is very similar to her go forward cue on the lunging, but I'm trying to just tap more on her hindquarters to move that leg over, and the go forward cue for her is just going to be right behind her leg goes on the belly. So she's just got to learn to figure that out. Okay, so same position. I'm going to block, step over like I want her to, and then kind of put some energy in here, wave it. I'm going to tap her a little. She wants to go toward me. Nope. Keep tapping there. Just a little release. Ask again. There we go. A little bit. There, more of a sideways step. Good. Just gonna move her back over here. Move her back over here so she's more in the shot. So all these lessons are all, move her over so you can see too, are all in order so that you can be more successful. So if your horse needs to know to back up before it can do this lesson, it needs to know to move its shoulders, and it needs to know to move its hindquarters. So all of those are important before you can do this. So it's gonna make, if you decide you wanna do this because it looks cool, it's going to be really hard without the basics first. So we're just going to ask again, and if she's kind of worried or nervous, I can just desensitize her. And can do both at the same time. So, okay, so block. This is giving me an energy whip. I'm going to cross my legs over, move my body. She gets her shoulders and her butt lags behind. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. She's very close here. Nope, wrong way. There. So she's also, I'm gonna bring her back over here. She also knows how to side pass toward me. That's why she's doing it. She's not doing it to be mean or bad or anything. So if your horse doesn't know how to do that already and it is being mean or bad, go ahead, get after him, put some pressure on that hindquarters, have him go can around for a few minutes. Bring them back, repeat the lesson. So just don't let them do that. You gotta read the context of their behavior. So I know she's not being bad, she's not pinning her ear, she's not really turning her butt toward me. She just thinks that I want her to side pass toward me. So there is a difference. But I'm stepping over and doing this because that's what I want her cue to be eventually without any whips. So I have my whips out. I'm gonna ask with my body, raise my whips. There goes her front, perfect. See if she can get her back. Nope. She has some trouble there. Nope. Keep asking. Nope. There, release. Okay, ask for another step. Tap. That butt over, butt over. She's kind of going too far forward. Okay, ask again. There, that was pretty good. So there's just a lot, there's a lot of pieces. So you gotta be watching multiple things at once. So like you gotta be watching her hindquarters. Like I'm watching her hindquarters and then she's drifting forward. And then she's, her shoulders are doing something. So you kind of have to be everywhere at once. So you just kind of have to pay attention to everything. Okay, step over, raise my whips. Her front end looks good. Can we get her hindquarters? That was pretty good. That wasn't too bad. I like her hindquarters over a bit more, but that's an improvement to what she was doing. So I'll take it. So I'm only going to do like the positive reinforcement when she was really worried. She wasn't as worried this time. So I'm just going to lower my whips down and just let her hang out for a second. So it's just important to know what the difference is. So she was kind of getting her head raised. She was kind of going forward. So I wanted to just really like outline or really show her, yes, this is what I want. And I used the positive reinforcement for that. So I'm gonna ask her again, step over, raise my whips, get a little energy. She's not really doing anything, so I'm gonna tap better. Good, that was pretty good. So, I want her, there we go. That was pretty good. So I'm just gonna end this side. She's stepping on my whip here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Just maneuver her so you can see this side. There. Okay. So I'm going to end that lesson, but again, just like everything, you want to do it correctly 3 times before you move on to the next lesson. That doesn't mean drill it for eternity until you can do 3 good ones. So like that one was probably 1 good one. That's okay. I can go on to this side. I wouldn't go on to doing it toward you yet because you don't have this solid. But don't drill it and drill it and drill it. Just if you're struggling with something, like there she's kind of struggling. She had a good step. I gave her positive reinforcement. She's done on that side. So if you're really struggling, you can just end the day on that. And it doesn't have to be you're done forever. You could just walk out, leave her in the round pen for a bit, put her back in the pasture, and then come out in a few minutes. It's not a big deal. But they know when you leave them alone is a huge reward. So it doesn't have to be the end for the day and you have to come back tomorrow. It can just be the end for a minute, but they still really like that reward. It really increases their motivation. So same thing, step over, raise my whips. Front end looks good. There we go. That was good. She is better on this side. Like most horses are better on their left side. Okay, I'll give her a minute to eat that and then ask her again. And she can't choose for eternity, so don't need to wait quite that long. Okay, step over, raise my whips, get some energy, tap that butt a little bit. There we go, that was good. Okay, so I'm gonna bring her, I would keep asking. You don't wanna ask them up against the fence because they're not gonna want to do it, but I'm just moving her so you guys can see her. Come over here. There, okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna ask her again. I want her butt over a bit more. Good, that was pretty good. She's really better on this side. So I'm just gonna end that lesson with her there. Have her come over here a little bit. Come on. Everybody's excited today. Come on. There we go. Okay. So that's just the side pass away on both sides. Just take it nice and slow. Reward with positive reinforcement when they get stuck and they do something good, even if it's just one set of legs is crossing over. Just you want to reward the slightest try. So When you're ready to move on, you can do this equally, 3 good steps on each side, and then you can move on to the side pass towards you exercise.